We're not Disney adults. We're just adults that like Disney.
We're not haters. We just have opinions.
We're not cat ladies, but we are childless. We're two entertainment creatives exploring culture at the intersection of fandom and our professional careers.
I'm Kaylin.
I'm Jacob.
And this is The Childless Millennials.
I have been slowly destroying like every pair of pants that I owned. So
destroying how?
The crotch like shreds.
Oh,
from
like
my
because your thighs
thighs.
rub together? Same. Oh my gosh.
So my like tan pants that I have been wearing for forever,
Yeah.
I just saw have like a huge slit in them.
Mm-hmm.
So will I be finally phasing out all my skinny pants? This is my question.
Are you going to
Because
switch
I
it
have
up?
one pair of Lululemon ABC skinny pants that are shredded. I actually just took them to Lululemon for like the quality.
Trade in.
And they were like, how long ago did you buy these? And I was like, 15 years ago. And they laughed in my face.
I don't think I knew they had a time limit.
It's new.
Oh.
It is.
Because of...
No, but I'm honest,
actually
at
very
least.
impressed that you have a pair of pants that's 15 years old.
That's how incredible the Lulu stuff is.
That fits you.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I wear them all the time. I went through a phase where they didn't fit me in the pandemic, and then they like kind of, and then they fit, and now I'm like really squeezing. But those are dead. Now these tan pants are dead, and I'm just like, am I going to transition to the non-skinny pant?
Oh my God. Are we going shopping?
I think maybe.
I just feel like I want to see you try on a non-skinny pant. And the thing is, like, you don't have to go full, like, barrel leg.
I
know.
know.
Like, but you can just do, like, a sensible straight leg. I think would look great on you.
Yeah, because I do have another pair of Lulu pants that is not skinny, that then I put them on and I was like, oh, these are like cute.
Yeah. The thing is like, you can still wear a fitted pant with, like, that makes the butt look nice, but it doesn't have to be a skinty jean.
As Jackie Cox says, it's all about the butt.
It is all about the
Yeah.
butt, and you can still get something that fits. Like, because, like, I wear, like, loose jeans all the time, but, like, my favorite ones are still, like, nicely shaped on the butt, and they just
Yeah.
have a wider leg.
Yeah. It's,
Also, like, everything is tight on my butt, let's be honest.
I mean, same.
Period.
But I think there's something about, like, I feel like fat when I wear non-fitted stuff, which is crazy to
Okay.
me. Because
Okay.
that doesn't make, like, logical sense.
Let's
But I guess
unpack
that's, like, the
that.
way I feel. I know.
Okay.
I just, like,
I know.
I like to have, like, definition to my body.
Well, and like in terms of like square footage, when you are wearing a loose fabric, you are a bigger shape.
Okay, I know you got a mic, but
Sorry, you gave me this mic. I'm gonna
I
be
told you,
voicing my
you
opinions.
better keep your thoughts to yourself. I'm
I
kidding.
know, I understand what you mean. It's like the silhouette. When you wear something that's baggier, the silhouette looks bigger.
Yeah.
And I think
Well-
for like our entire existence as human beings, smaller and thinner has been preferred.
Right.
Like that I think is pretty universal. Like that's kind of like a universal truth for us and like the way we were raised, right? Especially like being in entertainment.
Right,
it's like
right.
you want to you take up less physical space. You want to have a smaller silhouette. Like you want to be like fit and trim, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you wear something that is oversized or just not super fitted, I see what you're saying. Like it does have the tendency to like tell your brain that the silhouette is bigger, so therefore you look bigger.
It's that, and I also just realized that what it is like because it's a younger style, like younger people tend to be thinner, right, than older people. So I'm like, it just looks different on my body, and I'm always terrified of looking like the old person that's like trying to like be dressing.
No, I get that.
Younger.
I've recently been like going through something similar where like I do wear a lot of baggy clothes. Like I like the aesthetic. It's much more comfortable. I wore like very tight fitting clothing a lot of my life. I was in pageants for 7 years, so I was always like snatched and lifted and taped, and you know, I just like can't participate in that anymore. Because I just like to be comfortable. But I have like recently kind of been like going through something similar where I would wear like a baggy shirt, but then I would have to wear like a tighter pant or like tuck it in so that you could still see my waist. Cause I was like, oh, like I'm losing my shape. I had this whole thing about like my shape. And so lately I've been like, who cares? Like, I know that my waist exists. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's uncomfortable, or, you know, it's like the waistband is too tight, or maybe I don't want to worry about, oh, I sat down and my shirt came untucked and now I have to tuck it back in or nobody's going to see my waist. So I've kind of been like trying to change my mindset on like how like that silhouette doesn't look good on me. And it's like, okay, well, I look good no matter what. So like, like I look good. The clothes are secondary to that, is like what I've been trying to tell myself.
I'm also realizing that like, because I grew up a younger sibling to an older brother, an older straight brother, like all of my clothes were hand-me-down. So like I never wore clothes that fit until college. Like this is why I'm always like behind trend, is because then it's like, oh, I finally can like buy clothes like for myself. That, like, so I like kind of associate baggy clothes of like poor poverty. Not for anybody else. Not for anybody else. Not for anybody else. That is not a judgment on anybody else. I've never looked at somebody in baggy clothes and been like, you're poor. But I like it makes me
you feel
not like
it makes you feel like you don't have something of your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I have tried to do is when I sell clothes to Buffalo Exchange, buy one thing that I would probably not buy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like a new thing.
Yeah.
So anyway. Connor, can you give me my hat? The green one?
Oh, sure.
I meant to wear it. I felt my hair and I was like, I was going to wear this in celebration.
Oh, in celebration.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, you might see a theme in what Jacob and I are wearing.
Oh, I love a snapback
today. Jacob is if you're just listening, Jacob is currently putting on a green snapback with the letter Z on it.
Look, okay.
He's wearing a Disney Channel night shirt.
This is so inclusive of us, giving visual descriptions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am wearing a DCOM sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Is it really established 1983? Is that really the first DCOM? I thought it was 90s.
That's what she said.
So it's a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail.
No.
No, I thought the same thing, but I just assumed she was telling the truth.
Actually, 83 does feel a little early. A little early.
I thought 99 or something.
Yeah, you should look it up.
That's your job.
Sorry. I have a mic now, okay?
There were like...
You're still the producer, Connor.
Yeah, like there were...
You don't have a camera yet.
There were original movies made for Disney Channel before they were really called like the Disney Channel original movie.
Before they were called DCOMs.
Yeah, but there is a comprehensive list on the D23
The
website.
Disney Channel launched in 1983.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so
that
that's
makes
when
sense.
she counted. Okay.
DCOM was used from 1997 to 2023.
Okay. But the Disney Channel launched in 83. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so if you haven't if you don't follow us on social media and you've somehow missed this announcement, we are producing a show that is tributing Disney Channel original movies called DCOM Live, baby.
It's very exciting. I do have to interject, though. We is too many people. You two are producing a show.
I mean, we're producing it, but you're heavily influencing.
I will be performing in the show.
You will be performing.
Yes.
And I actually will not be performing in it.
I know.
Which is actually very exciting for me because I have, really wanted to take like a big step in the direction of being a director and choreographer. And while I definitely could do both, and I'm sure I will perform in this show one day, this was a nice way to say to the world, like, I am a director.
Yes.
And I'll be performing in the show in a beautiful twist of events.
So in case it wasn't clear, because I have had people message me, like, what is this DCOM thing? Like, what is it? So, and I know we haven't made like official cast announcements yet, but like, in case it wasn't clear, which I don't believe it was from social media, I will be performing in the show.
Yes.
Connor and Jacob are producing the show. Connor is also performing in the show.
Yes.
So I know actually quite a few of our listeners have actually already gotten their tickets
Yeah.
to the show on April 2nd.
Yes. April 2nd is our like exclusive premiere performance. It is free.
It's free.
In
San Diego, California.
In San Diego, California.
I have a friend who's trying to come from out of town.
Oh
She's
my
like,
God.
I don't know if I'm going to. And I was like, it's okay. Like, if you can't, we're having a show in July. And she was like, oh, I can definitely come in July.
Oh.
So, yeah, she's the sweetest.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there will be many more shows in the future, hopefully all around the globe.
Yeah.
But this is like going to be a really fun one because it's the first. So it's, you know, family, friends, and definitely the super fans of like Disney Channel.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like,
So tell people what.
yeah. So, I mean, it's in its simplest form, a tribute show. So we will be celebrating all of the music from Disney Channel original movies and series. So we say everything from Zenon to Zombies, baby.
That's so good.
I
That's such a good little tag.
I was proud of
Because it
that
also
one.
really is.
No,
Xenon
it's-
is the earliest thing that we're doing,
Yeah,
and
and Zombies is the most
last.
recent.
Yeah.
That's so
I know.
good. That's
Yeah.
such a good blurb. I can't wait to be interviewed on the news about this and use that.
Oh, we totally need to do a news spot about
I actually,
it.
like, this is so tangential, but I actually have an interview coming up that somebody asked me to do, and I'm most certainly going to talk
Oh,
about
great.
DCOM Live in the interview.
Yeah.
So that'll be published soon.
I love it. But yeah, so it's, you know, but it's not just the movies, it's the series. So Hannah Montana and you know, kind of everything there in between, some Jonas Brothers, some Demi Lovato. And we're just gonna like be celebrating all the like Disney Channel music that brought us all so much joy.
And there are 6 of us in the show.
Yes.
So we have 3 guys and 3 girls.
Mhm.
One thing that I'm really excited about for the show, and like I can't wait to see, like, so we start rehearsal next week.
Yeah,
just
it's a week from
FYI.
today, by the
A
way.
week from the day we're recording this. So this will come out Tuesday, and then we start rehearsal Friday. I'm really excited because we all have like quintessential like DCOM like character archetypes.
Yes.
which I'm super stoked about.
Yeah,
you
you can share them.
I'm stoked for everybody's, but like I'm
Yeah.
very excited about mine because like obviously why wouldn't I be the like punk descendants
Yeah.
Demi Lovato archetype?
Yes,
Like
yes, correct.
look at me.
But I should be clear, like, there's no characters. Like, everybody's
Yes,
just
that's what I
playing
was gonna
themselves.
say. We're not
like,
playing characters.
yeah, there's
like,
no
I'm
story.
Not
It's just a
playing-
concert.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I have kind of, yeah, I have like, I think it's, I don't know why it's so difficult for me to explain this, but yeah, no, it's like, it's just a concert
Yeah,
of
it's,
your favorite.
and it's not a theatrical experience.
No.
It is a live music performance
Yes.
experience. There's a band.
Yeah.
We're singing live.
Yeah.
There's going to be dancing, and the whole thing is really like a celebration of DCOM,
Yeah.
like DCOMs and Disney Channel shows, and like the things that like it's the nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
It's like a celebration of the nostalgia, and then we've brought it a little bit more modern with the addition of like Descendants and
Right.
Zombies because those are like relatively new like DCOM properties.
Yes.
So it's just like a celebration of all of that music and those characters that we love.
yeah, totally.
And like the set list is banging.
there are,
It's banging.
yeah, there are 60 songs in the show.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why I'm struggling to explain it, because when you say a tribute band or like a cover band, it's like, oh, okay, great. Like, you would go see if they were performing in a theme park or something. Like, you would go watch like a 30-minute set. But this is like
This is a full
a
concert.
2-hour
Yeah.
concert.
It's a full concert.
We keep joking, like, this is the Beyonce Renaissance tour
Yeah.
for Disney Channel fans.
We're not joking. This is the DCOM Eras tour.
Yeah, like you've heard of the big 3 of Beyonce. Just wait till it's the big 3 of
DCOM
Disney
Live.
DCOM Live.
No, I mean it kind of is the DCOM Eras tour though. Like if you think about like the way
oh
you
my
guys
gosh,
have
totally.
like segmented the show.
Wait, can I tell
Wait,
you?
I just had a merch idea. Okay. I just had a merch idea.
Okay,
We'll
well,
have to
we-
talk
Is
about
it the Eras tour, but like we do it for DCOM? Hell
That's
yes.
such a good idea.
Yes.
Hell
Yes,
yes.
absolutely it is. Yeah.
I'm
we
obsessed.
have to do that.
Well, and also, I don't know if you know this. This kind of happened on accident. So the show goes in an order that's not chronological, but then the finale megamix like goes in the same order of the concert.
Yes.
So we're like reprising
It's like
the
it's like a reprise.
movies.
It's like a recap of the show, which I think is so fun.
Yeah,
And it just kind of like was a happy accident. And then I was kind of like, wait, this is fierce. I'm going to keep going with this.
Yeah.
I know.
No, it's so good. You guys have put so much work into it, and like it's.
Yeah, we did.
I'm very excited for rehearsal. I'm also really excited because like Connor and I have performed together before a few times. I've never performed with you. But also, you've never seen me perform.
Never seen you perform.
And like then like you're gonna be our director, which I'm very
know.
excited about.
Oh, and
like,
I'm just
it's gonna be such a cool.
I'm going to be jumping up and down, like screaming. I'm honestly like so excited to not be in it.
Yeah,
Because I will just get to like watch and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And I think it goes back to the thing that we always talk about, right? Which is like working on a project that you are also a fan of. Like, I feel like that is your perspective as our director, is like it's your vision that we're executing, right? But it's also like you're such a huge fan of the music and these movies and like these TV shows that I think like your excitement for that will really come through as a director and make it not only a better experience for us and the audience, but it'll just make it like so fun.
Well, you just like, because you can tell, like you can like get a whiff of when someone is a fan or not. And like there's just been so many times working on this music that, you know, it's difficult to put this many songs together.
Yeah.
And there's just been times where we're like, we were having our Ariana Grande Wicked moment. We were like, that's Bible. Like, you cannot cut that.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do this verse
The
or this
spoken
chorus.
moment of nobody's perfect. We have to do.
Yeah, I literally was like, there's no...
Everybody makes mistakes.
But like
that part?
the middle, the like, next time you feel like it's just one of those days when you just can't seem to win. And then we were just like, you can't cut anything out of this song.
It's like if you're at the club or you're at a party or whatever, and like the DJ switches the song before your favorite part, right? It's like what would it's so frustrating, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily think about that, but because we've done weddings and private events and like live, band stuff for so long, that's constantly what we're thinking about, right? Is like, you have to give the people what they want.
Right.
It's not enough to just like, oh, here we're going to play this song. You have to give them the part of the song that they are looking forward to. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how good your show is. It doesn't matter the choreography. It doesn't matter if you're singing your ass off. They will be disappointed.
Right.
If you don't give them the thing that they're hoping to hear, they're going to be disappointed.
And I'm sure that there will be, I'm sure that somebody will be like, oh, they didn't do blah, 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 or what. But no, but I was going to say,
60 songs,
I was going to say
baby.
though, but it's like, I'm just letting you all know now, because I had to let our choreographer know, we are not doing When I Went to the Moon from Even Stevens.
Our
Costumer.
Oh, did I say choreographer?
Yeah.
Costumer.
I was like, that's you,
Yeah.
baby.
I was like,
But he was like,
were you telling yourself in the mirror? Like, we are not.
But he was like,
Graham.
well, because he was like, are you doing my favorite song? And I was like, what? And he's like, what's it? Something to, I went to the moon.
In 1969.
Yeah, and
not 1970,
I was like,
but a year sooner.
and I was like, I said,
I'm just
oh,
going to walk out on
no.
stage during intermission and sing it.
And then he saw the set list and he's like, oh, you're doing like the hits, the bangers. And I was like, yes, this isn't a joke. But also, if you are interested in coming, or if you have reserved your tickets or whatever, like, I just highly recommend you look up the theater, because the theater is just such a vibe. It's outside.
Same.
It's like giving a music festival vibe. The whole front of the audience is actually going to be like a dance floor, standing room for.
And we'll talk more about this, I'm sure, on socials, like as we continue to promote the show. But like, we want you to dress up.
Yes.
We want you to dress up. We want you there. We're going to have a
Yes.
costume contest.
Yeah, we are going to have a
So
costume
you can
contest.
like full costume, you can Disney bound, like
Yeah.
whatever. We want you to come dressed up.
I, for
and-
example, would wear the shirt that I wore when I went to the Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus concert by myself in high school. The iron-on shirt that said "I love Miley." That is what I would be
Yeah.
wearing to DCOM Live.
Yeah.
And I would expect to win.
I really want somebody to come dressed as Protozoa.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I need frosted tips. I need
Yeah.
I need a silver jacket.
We should ask Chris Villa to
I really
do
need that. But yeah, we're gonna have a costume contest. You can win money for the costume contest, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be like such a fun night. And what I love about stuff like this is everybody that is gonna be there is gonna be like on the same page
Yes.
of being like fans. So you get to be so like unabashedly
Yeah.
like yourself.
Yeah.
This actually all started. I don't even know if you know this. This all started when it was COVID and I was asked to do like a Disney concert when it was the pandemic and every theater arts place in the world was just like, we have to create
Yeah.
a show. So we did like a celebration of Disney concert, and the woman that managed the theater, she was putting the concert on, and she was so busy because she was like in charge of getting like all the like hand sanitizer stations and like all of that like COVID
The
junk.
logistics things.
Yeah,
to
that
make
she was
them-
literally
yeah.
like, do you want to just like gestures vaguely to the stage?
Do you wanna-
And I was like, oh yeah. And then I did it and she was like, you're like really good at this. You should be building more shows. So then when she got this new job at this theater, she was like, I want you to build shows for me. And I was like, I've kind of always wanted to do this Disney Channel tribute show. And she like lit up like a Christmas tree and was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, please. Next thing I know, we're like Zooming with them. And it took forever because it's on the, we're partnering with a college. So there's so much like red tape and like grant money and like all of that stuff. But then all of a sudden it was like, oh, we're doing this. So we better start building this show. And yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be, I truly don't think that people are prepared. And I think that's why I've struggled to explain what it is, because it is just going to be so big
Yeah.
and incredible. Like the singers, you all are amazing. Like it's going to sound so great. And I don't know how many people have even really heard any of this music live.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you've been to one of the High School Musical arena tours or you saw the Cheetah Girls tour, but there's some songs that like we couldn't find sheet music for. Like we had
Yeah,
to
you had
like
to create it.
our own band charts, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just gonna be
Yeah. And it's a full scale show. Like this
Yeah.
isn't like
it's not 54 below at 11
like
p.m.
it's not. This is not like a
Yeah.
it's not a cabaret. It's
No.
not like a reading, it's not like a staged, sing through. Like this is a full scale show.
Yes.
6 performers. We have obviously our director, choreographer in you, Jacob. We have like an amazing costumer, amazing like band leader, music director, like a full like band. Like it's
Yeah.
not just,
Yeah, my friend Lyndon put together this awesome band, and they're gonna be great. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna sound so good.
and the goal is for this to not be like a one-off performance. Like
Yeah.
you guys are really trying to build this
Yeah.
into like something that can travel and be performed all over the country.
Yeah, we were this partnership that we have with this theater is sort of a new thing for them, and it started because they did a similar partnership with someone that made a Taylor Swift tribute show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, called
Yeah.
Dream Like Taylor, that she does a whole, Taylor Swift
Yeah,
tribute
that's
show. Our friend Evan does a Bruno Mars tribute show that he's toured to Dubai. Like he's
Literally all over the world.
yeah, and so
It's like where in the world is Bruno Mars?
Yeah,
But
like,
it's Evan.
and it's anybody in the world can just like That's what I think is crazy, right? Like literally anybody in the world can just like do a concert of music, right? Like it's not, there's no like restriction in that like ambition. And so that's why I'm like, why are we not just doing this? Because we do these performances all the time of 50s music, 60s music, stuff that is just not for us, but for the old, well, no shade. It's just, you know, but for the older crowds on the cruise ships that we go on. And it's like, no, like let's no. And you know, my friend Jenny, who listens to the pod, she is like a young millennial mom. She like loves, you know, High School Musical. She grew up with all of that. But like when I told her about the show, she's like, look at what my son is wearing right now. And he was in like a Zed costume from Zombies. So it's like so fun because there's a generational thing of like getting of these young parents that are going to get to introduce their kids to like everybody. There will be something for everybody.
Yeah. I think that's what's cool about it too. And especially with the inclusion of like Descendants and Zombies, because like we even have stuff from like the most recent Descendants movies, Rise of Red. So like it's very, very recent. And I think that that's really cool to note too, is like, yes, a lot of the show is going to be for people our age, you know, for the childless millennials, but also the childful millennials, as we said, I think in like our first episode. Like, if you have kids, they are going to recognize this music
it's
too.
gonna
Like
be
this very
so
much
fun.
is a show that is for, you know, specifically like anything from like elder millennials all the way to kids that watch Disney Channel right now are going to appreciate something about this. And I think it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited. Like I'm excited to start rehearsal, obviously. Like I haven't been a part of a rehearsal process like this for a really long time. So like selfishly, I'm very excited to just like be in it and do it. But also I'm so excited to see the audience and how they receive the show.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to be so like pleasantly surprised by what the experience actually is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I did Disney Channel night, they brought back this show from the parks called Disney Channel Rocks that was like a 2010, 11 show. And like the way that these audiences were just like so excited to see this show. And that show was 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was such a specific like sliver of music.
Well, and especially the performance from the Disney Channel night was hyper specific because it was like dedicated to the time period in which that show was out.
Yeah.
So it was like,
yeah.
it was like Camp Rock 2. And
Right.
like, it was very hyper specific to like what was currently on Disney Channel when that show was in the park.
And I'll give them credit that like they clearly were trying to like really capture a now moment and I think that the goal probably was to, because they had so much success with like the High School Musical parade show, that they like wanted to like pick this music, and then I think that they probably wanted to change it every year.
I think that was the original plan, just like they did with the High School Musical. It started and it went through all three films, and then when they did DCR, I think that was the original vision. At least that's what I would assume, just from a creative perspective.
Yeah, but it was not. You know, in hindsight, like bringing a show like that back was a little tricky because there was just a lot of music that was missing. It felt like you have one Hannah Montana song and it's Ordinary Girl, which I love Ordinary Girl, but like that's not like
the
when
song.
It's not, none of it was like except We're All in This Together. We did
like,
We're All in This
We're not
Together.
doing Best of Both Worlds. We're not doing Nobody's Perfect. Like Ordinary Girl, great, love it.
And even in 60 songs, I'm still like, there's a couple songs I had anxiety of like, is it bad that we're not doing this song? Is it bad that we're not doing this song?
Yeah.
And he's just like, we can't.
Yeah. There's only so much time.
Yeah.
We have to have a part 2. And I also think like doing these shows in April and then the other show in July might honestly give us a good idea of like, in a live performance setting, oh, this didn't hit the way we thought it would. Maybe we can put in one of those other songs that feels missing. Let's swap it out and see how that feels. Like,
right.
I think that's also really cool a really cool part of the project that you guys have even talked about is like the possibility of it evolving over time. So let's say the show goes on tour at the end of this year, it might be a different show. Like not a completely different show, but like I do think it's really cool because it could be one of those experiences that people could come back to over and over because it might not be the same every time. You know, we might switch out songs. There might be new performers. There might be different choreography. Like it has so much potential to grow and evolve over time that I'm like,
because it's not a musical. It's not a story. There's no characters. It's just a concert with with an amazing band and amazing singers singing music. So like,
and what
we
I
can
would
sing
love,
whatever we want, whenever. You know?
And this is something that we talked about when I was touring with DCOM, that we just, because of the way our show was structured, we never had the opportunity to explore. But I do think it would be really cool to explore over time with DCOM Live, like building up a repertoire of music and changing out the set list. You know, like we never had that opportunity with DCOM because our show was so tied to the visuals. We couldn't be like, hey guys, do you want to do Wanna Be Like You tonight instead of Trash in the Camp? Like that wasn't an option for us, right? And actually I think both of those songs were in the same tour, but I digress.
I know what you
know
mean.
what I mean? Like we couldn't explore that option, or like, hey, like we've done these songs for the first 3 weeks of the tour. Maybe next week we can swap this out. We didn't have that choice. And I do think it would be cool over time if we explored that possibility of like, we have like so many medleys that it's like, oh, let's do this medley next week, you know? And then we do like a quick pickup rehearsal and then it's like, okay, next week we're doing that medley.
I am really curious to see what like really hits because for example, when we built the show, the theater that we're partnering with, like they really were like, just go. Like they were like, what do you need?
So much creative freedom.
And we're like, well, we want this and this. And they're like, great. Like they, but the only thing that she said when we initially talked about it was she was like, are you doing Descendants and Zombies? And we were like, no. And she was like, you literally have to do Descendants and Zombies. Like that was the only.
I think so too.
Yeah, because I had never seen Zombies. I had seen, I think, the first Descendants, not like any of the other ones, but like I'm obsessed with Zombies.
You're a Zombies boy now.
I'm obsessed with Zombies. I am like obsessed with Milo Manheim. I want to go to New York to see him in Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I think that because honestly, I think that Descendants is like camp rock and Zombies is like High School Musical.
That's
not
so funny.
not in your like Chevy is Coke and Ford is Pepsi analogy, but more so in the like in in the musical taste of like Descendants is more the like Descendants is giving you like beats and tracks and like bam bam bam. But Zombies is musical theater.
All eyes on me, let me see 'em.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Are you kidding? Sorry.
Yeah.
I love Descendants.
Oh, it's so good.
I love it.
But Zombies is musical theater. Like that's giving more of the like campy, like fun stuff that I love.
I see what you mean. Whereas in like Descendants is a little more pop. Like they're like bangers.
Yeah.
Like
Descendants to me, I described it as Descendants to me felt like a pop, like a concept pop album that somebody wove together with a story. And Zombies is giving like
musical theater.
A musical.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I still haven't seen Zombies. So
it's so
well,
fun.
now that we don't have the Traders on Thursday nights, maybe.
Okay, yeah. So last night we were like
watch Zombies on Thursdays.
Yeah, so on Thursday nights, we talked about this last week, but like we do like our like I want to say like TGIF, but it's not. It's Thursday. But like okay, so if you Caven, this is for you. If you
For anyone who's just tuning in, Caven is our singular Gen Z listener, and we love him.
If we have other Gen Z listeners,
we want to know.
Yeah, if we have others, let us know. We will. We will call you out by name because we love you and we love that you're here. But to our knowledge, Caven is our only Gen Z listener, so he gets the shout outs all the time.
So growing up, Thursday night television was like the night for television across networks. So like every network like put their best show on Thursday. I feel like it started with Friends.
Okay.
Because Friends was such a big hit and it was on Thursday. But like on CBS, I remember it was Survivor into was The Apprentice on CBS? I think The Apprentice was on NBC. But like basically like you knew the show was a big freaking deal if it was like on a Thursday.
Okay.
So this is
Which I think in recent years it's been Sundays a lot. A lot of shows are Sundays.
that
like
was because of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like HBO did a lot of their heavy hitters on Sundays. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, Sundays was definitely an HBO thing. And I also think that because HBO was like the newer, HBO has always been on a different wavelength than like
Regular network
television.
TV. Yeah.
But Game of Thrones, like that regular Sunday drop with like Game of Thrones, Veep, all that stuff was like really at that time when streaming took off and there was no day of the week anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But now that we've gone back to, you know, because like Disney Plus is doing Friday. But so what I love is that because Severance comes out at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays and The Traitors comes out on Thursdays, we have our own little like Thursday night TV lineup that you guys come over for, and we like put out some charcuteries. And it's just like, it just is violently millennial.
It's like my favorite night of the week.
Oh yeah, it
like,
is.
like when people are like, oh, like when are you available? Like it is my routine. It is my schedule that I'm like, I am available Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, because Mondays I'm most likely at Disney. It's either Sunday or Monday. I'm at Disney. And Thursdays I come here. Not available that day.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Because what if you guys want me to come over at 6? I can't be, that's crazy. Like, I might come over at 9, but what if you guys are like, hey, come over at 5:30 and let's watch something? I'll be like, period. So I can't make plans on Thursdays. Like Thursday is legitimately my favorite.
Oh
day
yeah,
of the week.
no, it's so great. And so we were like, well, we should watch The Traitors and Severance before we record the podcast.
Yes.
And then we were watching it, and I was.
We had
I didn't
some
want to.
beverages.
I just didn't. Yeah, we did, and I just was.
We
I
had
wanted
like
to
some
finish.
rosé and.
But then
Kaylin,
Kaylin,
though-
I just was like, if you watch The Traitors, I was fully.
You were Dolores.
I was Dolores to Brittany. Like,
Like, okay, so for our audio only listeners, there's this moment in The Traitors. If you watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They are trying to do a vote, and Brittany's like,
spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers. Oh my God. They're trying to do a vote, and Brittany is like, yeah, and then Dolores like looks at me and like makes eye contact with me and then like looks at Danielle like vote for her. And like the edit shows Dolores like looking hard towards Danielle. And then Dolores is like, that's not what I was doing, which I thought was hilarious. But last night, Connor, we're watching TV and Connor's like, okay, so are we going to stop here and record the episode, or like, should we keep going? And Jake,
I like did the Dolores eyes.
did
I was
the
like,
Dolores, like, he was like, well, he looks at me and he's like, well, I don't know. What do you want to do? But is like looking at the TV. And I was like, picking up on his sympathetic vibrations a la the ghost of the Haunted Mansion. And I said, Jacob wants to watch, I just spit, Jacob wants to watch the reunion and record the podcast another day. And he was like,
And then Kaylin was like, listen, if there's one thing about me, there's nothing I love more than a canceled plan.
Correct.
And I was like, period.
And I said, especially canceled plans that mean I still get to hang out with my friends. Like, I still get to hang out with my friends. We still get to do what we wanted to do. But the original plan is canceled, and now we get to keep drinking. Period.
And cheers to
So we poured ourselves another glass of rosé.
Yes.
We watched The Traitors, and then Zach came over, and we watched Severance.
Yeah.
Caitlin put a full beat on to watch.
I know.
No, I was telling Dee earlier, my best friend Dee, I was like, it was so cute because as I went to leave, Jacob and Connor were like, oh, I'm sorry, like you put on a full beat and we didn't get to record. And I was like, baby, I have on tinted moisturizer and mascara. Like, there was like, I was like, this is like a boy beat. Like, I had just like put on enough to be on camera, and you guys were so nice about it. You were like, you have on a full beat. And I was like, wow, you have not seen me do a pageant.
Can I tell you,
You have
the
not
like
seen me in a beauty pageant with like the full.
with a Lisa Barlow 1 inch?
No, my foundation always looks good, okay? It was the lashes that really put it over the top because I would double stack my lashes.
Oh, yeah.
I worked at Mac with like one of the best drag queens in Northeast Florida.
Amazing.
Who like was like one of the best drag queens in Detroit and then moved down to Northeast Florida and just took over, is still dominating like the scene in Florida. And I worked at MAC with them, and so I learned like a lot of my like stage makeup technique from them. And the lashes were the one thing like I had it down because they looked really good and really full on stage but didn't make the shadow under your eye. So I didn't, because of the way like I laid them and like the way like they taught me to stack them and everything. So like lashes were my thing. My foundation was always appropriate. I didn't have the thick.
Yeah, she's
the Gen Z loose fit.
Yeah.
I'm screaming.
Can I tell you though the like weird aha moment that I had of thinking of the young high school girls that wake up in the morning and put on makeup before they go to school?
Mm-hmm.
In high school?
You put on makeup before school?
In college, that was me.
Okay.
Every day?
And people were surprised when I came out.
I will say I probably did makeup every day, like starting junior year. Like,
but like, how long did that take you?
It just depended on.
I was never on time to high school.
I started like doing makeup, like
Yeah.
not only on myself but like on my friends. Like I did a bunch of girls' makeup for like prom and stuff like that when I was like 15.
Yeah.
So I like loved makeup from a very young age.
Were you buying it or were your parents buying it for you?
My mom actually bought me like this insane kit when I was probably 15, maybe 16. It's like a very roundabout like story, but basically her friend worked in like aesthetics. Like she wasn't an esthetician, but she worked for Dermalogica. So she went to like the big trade shows for estheticians and cosmetologists. And she took my mom with her one day just to like, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm like running the booth for Dermalogica, and they have makeup and nail polish and all that kind of stuff at these big trade shows. And my mom went to one of the booths and they were selling this like basically like pro makeup kit with like everything that you could imagine, all of the shades, all of the colors, all of the brushes. And like my mom came home with it and was like, because I was like obsessed with like beauty YouTube stuff. And so she bought that for me when I was like 15 or 16.
Amazing.
And then I did makeup all the way into like my
so
early
you were
20s.
like doing like YouTube beauty makeup, like early YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like 2008.
Yeah.
2009. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened last night that I made you both die laughing was when I was like, I just had a vision almost like a prophecy. Which maybe I should like edit that out so that I...
It really was.
I just had a vision almost like a prophecy.
Yeah. Like, because you emphasized it like it's emphasized in the music, but you weren't singing it. You're like, and I just had a vision almost like a prophecy. And I was like...
Dead.
I love you. You are so gay.
Yeah, which really quick, I did love that Oscars performance.
Yes.
I loved the opening number. I thought it was great.
Should have started with what you guys wanted.
I was not happy with certain Amelia Perez things, but it's fine. They sounded great.
Yes.
It was really lovely. The lighting killed it.
Yeah.
But the traitors.
What's so funny that you say that? I just have to brag for a second. I know the person who arranged that opening.
Oh.
Lenny?
Uh-huh. And a woman that I worked with on a show that we did on Disney Plus, her husband is the lighting designer. And did the lighting for that. And what was it? The Grammys, I think. The Grammys
Oh,
was
amazing.
something else that I
No,
watched
did you not
recently
see
had,
that shot that was like
lighting.
hang it in the Louvre? And it
Uh-huh.
was like it was
Her husband did the lighting for it. Like, incredibly talented. So good.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
he's killing it.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I just had to brag for a sec. Anyway,
So fun. The traitors.
yes, the traitors.
So you finished it.
How long have we been recording? Oh my God, we're just like shooting the shit.
Our girl, Misguided, she won. Stole. I
Yeah.
stole America's
Yeah.
hearts.
I mean, I had said a few weeks ago, like, I really wanted Gabby and Dylan to make it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I got my wish.
Yes.
I did not expect for it to be 4 people in the end. That was crazy to
Yeah.
me. But I loved it. I thought like it was so funny because to me, if you had asked me at the beginning of the season, if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, if I thought, oh my God, I'm burping. If I thought Ivor and Dolores would be in the finals, there was no world in which I thought that was possible.
No world.
But they really played such a low-key game.
Yeah.
That in the end, it made sense. Like, they were so low-key. There was very little suspicion at one point for Ivor, and he was just kind of like... From Dolores. Dolores accused Alan, okay? She accused everybody. Like,
yeah,
Dolores, I saw a TikTok that was like Dolores voting a tweak at the round table. And it was like her voting for random people. And then at the very end, she was like, you know, this person was really suspicious. And I really don't know if I can trust them. I'm voting for myself, Dolores. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if I can be trusted. And it was so funny because sometimes her votes were so random, but because of that, she never really like put heat on anybody. Not your Boston Rob flip. Oh my God. Dylan Efron.
I would, if Dylan came on this podcast, I would lose my mind. I cannot believe it took till the finale though to learn that Dolores was a like fucking investigative, I don't know, some sort of like
correctional officer.
What? That was crazy. I actually still believe to this day that she was intentionally leading Britney astray with that look and that she's just pretending to avoid conflict. I think she's like, no, you misread that. It was so obvious.
It could have been editing.
But she literally looked at Britney and she was like, and did the eye thing. And then Britney like did it back at her to be like Danielle. And then Dolores did it. Maybe they edited that, but it just...
Maybe. Or maybe from Dolores' perspective, it was more of a question. Like, are you going to vote for her?
Yeah.
And maybe she thought Britney's response... Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think we got enough clarity on that. I do wish that they would have touched on it more in the reunion.
I think that this season overall seemed to me like behind the scenes was maybe a little messy. Because, with Danielle cheating... I think she cheated. Well, no, I don't know if I think she cheated. I don't know if I want to like, but
here's
like
the thing.
Andy bringing that up at the reunion, messy.
That's why I love Andy Cohen because Andy Cohen is me.
Oh,
and Andy Cohen and I want to know the same things and ask the same questions and have the same curiosities. And I love him and want to be his best friend. Here's the thing for me. Okay. I don't know Danielle. Obviously, I don't know any of these people. These are just people that I watch on your television every week.
Yeah.
But her insistence that she did not tell Britney was she predicated it on the fact that she takes NDAs very seriously and she would never break an NDA.
That
and
being the reason.
I was like, bitch, you swore on your grandchildren that you weren't a traitor. So I actually don't know how seriously you take anything.
Yeah.
And your insistence that you take NDAs too seriously to have done that is
also
at minimum.
That is like a callback to Big Brother with the reindeer games because the whole reason that she was like so betrayed by Britney was because she wanted to win that game like for her grandchildren.
For her grandkids.
So cut to this show and then swearing on your grandchildren is just dramatic.
Yes. And also like swearing on her grandkids to Dolores, knowing that Dolo is like very family, like she played that hard. So her insistence that, oh no, I take NDAs very seriously. I'm like, well, you swore on the lives of your grandchildren. So how seriously do you really take that?
Yeah.
Like,
I also think
sorry,
that
ma'am.
like Danielle, like I think that she like I feel like she crossed the line in the gameplay a little bit and like the severity of it because she was such a bad traitor. In the sense of like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I just still can't believe we never revisited the fact that she got the frickin' shield twice and gave it away twice.
You know,
and the whole cast kind of like,
interesting.
it was like the whole cast pitied her and was like, that's so awkward that you just gave it away. So we'll just like all collectively like ignore that.
Yeah.
But then she's gonna like collapse into the corner in tears when Carolyn is a traitor. Like,
It's funny because for a long time and they brought it up on the reunion of like, how can people say like she's a bad traitor? She lasted longer than anybody. And like I was thinking about it, and in hindsight, I just found her to be like dramatic and like it's fine. Like I thought she was a bit annoying, as I did plenty of other people on the show. Tom Sandoval. She actually was a good traitor in the end. Like I don't necessarily know that I think she started out that way. I think she had like really strong people around her in Boston Rob, Bob the drag queen, and Carolyn. And I think once she realized like, oh, it's just me, I don't have a team anymore. Like once the trust between her and Carolyn was broken, she actually did start playing a really good game. The episode where she got Carolyn voted out, I was like, oh, you know what you're doing. And I think the catalyst was her realizing, I'm on my own. I'm not doing this with a team of traitors. I am doing this by myself. Bob is gone. Boston Rob is gone. Carolyn doesn't trust me, and I don't really trust her. And at that moment, she actually became a really, really good traitor. And Carolyn got caught up in the money and honestly told on herself because she was so worried in that specific challenge about them getting the money that she started being really suspicious with her answers. And that, because nobody was onto Carolyn. Dylan was not even onto her in any way, shape, or form until she started being so insistent about the money. And I think that specific episode is when I was like, oh no, like, I think she's a little annoying, but like Danielle actually is playing a really good game.
Yeah. She just wasn't as fun to watch as like the other traders.
Yeah.
So it was like whatever. But I was also gonna say the way that Brittany like literally lost me in 0.5 seconds after she became a traitor and got so defensive and like
it was interesting.
Bad traitor.
But because I felt like Brittany was kind of, I hadn't really paid much attention to her for the whole season, other than knowing, you know, the tangential beef with her and Danielle. And like, because obviously they played that like in the very first episode.
Right.
They're like like them coming back together and like, you know, whatever, blah, blah. And then, you know, Danielle's insistence that like, no, I can't betray her, you know, anytime she would get brought up in the turret kind of thing.
Right.
But as a player, and this could also be the edit, right? As a player, Brittany was never really on my radar. She was kind of like, no disrespect to anyone on the show, but like she was kind of like Sam. Like she was there, you know, and wasn't really necessarily, you know, making a ton of good television, wasn't necessarily doing anything super great or super poorly, was just another player on the show until Danielle obviously recruited her. So obviously she's going to be in more of the edits. And then like first round table, I was like, oh, she doth protest too much.
Yeah.
She really
it was a
like,
lot.
And poor Dylan was like, I'm just saying, okay, fine. Like I was like, oh, you need a hug in my bosom.
But Dylan, oh my God. Dylan really won the traders though.
He
like
really
truly, like of the four. Like it's, and I just like want to see him on everything.
Yeah.
I need him to go on Survivor, but
I don't know.
I don't know if he's. Well, didn't they do a documentary together? Like
I know
an outdoor.
Zac Efron did an outdoors like.
Yeah,
thing.
and I think Dylan might.
But I don't know. Is Dylan in it?
I think it. My guess would be because I think that the outdoor stuff comes from Dylan, and I feel like Zach but this is just totally me guessing. I have no clue.
Yeah, I think Dylan, in terms of like the public perception, I think Dylan won 100%.
Yeah,
and I think Gabby is a very close second.
Oh yeah, I'm obsessed with her. Which she not only does she make me want to watch The Bachelor, but she's queer. So
Yeah.
she like that. Of course, I
Yeah.
like her. I was going to say the only other thing that's ever made me want to watch The Bachelor is I just saw a clip on social media of this guy that's like basically like begging for his life when she's she's rejecting him. I don't know who these people were, but then he's like, I won't take no for an answer. And she's like, okay, fine. And then she like picks up the podium and like moves it away from him. And I was like, oh, if The Bachelor was like that, I would watch.
I think you want to watch The Bachelorette. I don't think you want to watch The Bachelor.
Yes, it was The Bachelorette. Yes.
Which Gabby was on The Bachelor.
And then she was on The Bachelorette.
She was on The Bachelorette. So I think I would watch The Bachelorette, her season. I don't think I would probably care too much about The Bachelor. But I would watch Gabby's season of The Bachelorette for sure.
Wild.
But yeah, that's our Thursday night.
Yeah, and I hope that there's more Thursday night things that will happen because like I need this to continue to be a thing. And I now
I'm coming over Thursday nights just in perpetuity.
Period.
Whatever we end up doing is anybody's guess. Like we could watch a movie. We could, watch Gabby's season of The Bachelorette.
Yes.
We could, we can do anything, but I will be here to see you and Oreo every Thursday.
Oh, yeah, because Oreo is now fully aware of Thursdays.
Yeah, Oreo is on the Thursday train. She knows what the deal is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when she ran into the hall yesterday, when you let her out to greet
I love
me.
to do
Oh
that.
my God, I was dying. It also, it made me so happy. No offense in any way, shape, or form, but she ran past Connor to me. And I was like, she's my girl.
One of my favorite things to do is when he's like coming home, I like follow his location and then I like wait in the hall so that she can like sprint to him. Like
she's
the
so
moment
precious.
that he like.
We used to have, when we first got snips and we lived in our apartment in Orlando, we taught her which apartment was ours. So when we got off the elevator, we would make sure obviously nobody's on the hall, but we would let her go and she would haul ass and then just like stop in front of our door and sit and like, do I get a treat? It was so cute.
It.
Yeah.
Well, we'll post stuff about DCOM Live on our Childless Millennials Instagram page, or you can follow the DCOM Live account as well at DCOM.live. And I'm sure if you follow either of us, like we post about it all the time.
Yeah.
Just search DCOM Live, UCSD, the page will come up.
Yeah.
Because even though it is free, you have to reserve a ticket.
Yes, you have to RSVP.
RSVP. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have we didn't even say that. We're going to have themed drinks. Even say that. We're going to have themed cocktails, which I think is going to be really fun. We're doing the Cheetorita, and did you say the Joe Brojito? Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. That's fun. Yeah, big fan of those.
And yeah, let us know that you're coming because it's going to be so fun. Yeah. Like it's really going to be great. Yeah. I would not be overselling it.
No, I'm super excited. And if I get permission, I haven't asked this, I'm just saying this on the podcast. If I get permission, I am going to make content during rehearsals.
So
I already have a content plan for rehearsals.
Great.
So
fantastic.
Because you know me.
Oh yeah.
And my little Notion board of all my content plans.
Period.
So I will be doing that for all of our socials. We'll just collaborate. I'll just put everybody on it.
Yeah.
And then I was going to say something else and I forgot. Guess it was a lie.
I don't know.
That's what Zach's mom says. My mother-in-law, when she when she wants to say something and forgets it, she goes, "Oh well, guess it was a lie." It just goes on. It's so cute.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right, that's our show.
Yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
See ya. The Childless Millennials is a podcast hosted by Jacob Heron and Kaylin Kelly. The show is produced by Connor Warren Smith with music by Connor Warren Smith.